if you could, can somebody message me on the right-hand side in the questions box? Let me know that you can hear me okay. Perfect. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate that. And thank you, everybody else as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. It's going to be an awfully fun webinar, and I'm going to cover a lot of things, but I'm also going to show you where you can get more help, and I'm also recording this webinar as well. So you can always go back to it and kind of come back and see what we did and learn a little bit more. And I just love using the database upload feature with the Yahoo store because it is so very, very, very simple. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. For those of you who are just joining us, my name is Shauna Siegel. I'm the CEO of One Choice for Your Store. And if you have questions after the webinar, of course, you can email them to support@1c4y.com. And you can also message me on Twitter. I don't do very well with direct messages unless you @ me and say, hey, I sent you a message. So just so you know that. All right. For those of you who have not gotten to know me, I always start off my webinars by telling a little bit about how I got started. And it was 2000, and I was working from home, and I was running my own Yahoo store. I just left a really bad divorce. And I would love to say that I was the picture-perfect mom, but really that wasn't the case, and it's still not the case. I am sitting at home in my jammies right now. I've got my dogs beside me, which, by the way, you're going to hear them, I'm sure, once at least through the webinar. And I love working from home. We have a beautiful office at One Choice, but I've always loved working from home. I do my best work from home. And what I love is that the Yahoo stores give us the power to be able to work in an office or work from home, and it's just absolutely wonderful. So I just love the Yahoo stores. But I am constantly pulling out my hair because usually this kind of stuff is going on in the background. But what I do now is I'm a Yahoo Small Business Partner. I also host the New Life event, which is coming up in September. It's 30 webinars in one weekend, and it's all completely free. And I hope that you guys will sign up for it. If you go to newlifeevent.com now, you're able to view about 90 webinars on demand. I think it's 90. It might be up to over 100 now, but it's really great information there, a lot of great stuff, and I'm looking forward to our next one. I need to update the site, of course, with the new dates and all that, but with the surgery and everything else and coming back to work, I have been a little slow about that, sorry. But I also host a radio show on webmasterradio.fm called Ecom Experts. I love that show. We have so much fun, and I hope you'll join us there. And I'm also an educator of all things SEO and Yahoo, because I really do love talking about, especially search engine optimization. That's one of my favorite things to talk about. So one of the things that I did is I started the Now What project just slightly over 6 months ago, because a lot of people were coming to us and they were saying, I've opened my store for business, but now I have no clue what to do. And so I started the nowwhatproject.com, where I opened up an online store, and I've been documenting the process of how we've been able to get sales, increase sales, do all of that good stuff. And it's been a really great time because we're teaching people how to get more traffic, teaching people how to get more sales, and even teaching people how to get higher conversions. Some of the little things that we've done, like adding buy safe, things like that, because there was just so many people pulling out their hair and not really knowing what the heck they should do next. So that's why I built the Now What project site. It's One Choice for Quilting, and that's actually the store we're going to be using today. The store, I'm happy to say, is doing very well. We just, we opened on February 1st, and we got our first sale on February 4th. So we just finished the 6-month mark, and I was going for $60,000. I am so bummed to tell you that we only hit $57,000. And now if I didn't have that dang surgery, we would have so beat that. But I'm still pretty proud that we did $57,000 in our first 6 months as far as sales go. And I really want to, now that, this site is really kicking some butt and we've done that 6-month mark, go back through and really document the process and talk about it and how you can apply the same things we've done to grow your business. Well, of course, one of the things that we've done to grow the business, because I am still working a full-time day job as far as, One Choice for Your Store, is the database uploads. And you have to understand that we get products that are constantly changing. The products only stay in stock for about 2 months, and then we're putting in something new. And it's constantly changing. So for that reason, we have to use the database upload feature. We are constantly working smarter and not harder. And last week, I gave you an education of all the custom programming that we've done to make that job a little bit easier. Well, now I'm going to show you how we use that custom programming and database uploads together to really make this process just very smooth for constantly adding new products. I mean, every single week, a new collection is coming out, if not more. There's usually 1 to 2 collections coming out every single week. That's just from one manufacturer. So we're going to walk through how to download your products from the Yahoo store, how to upload changes, how to upload new products, and a few database shortcuts that I think are pretty cool. And that's what we're going to go over today. So let's go ahead and get started within the Yahoo store. Let me go ahead and exit out of this bad boy. And we are in the back end of One Choice for Quilting. So the first thing that is really nice about this is you can go right into Catalog Manager. Ah! Don't tell me this. Well, this might be hurting us a little bit, but not too much. Anybody else getting these messages, by the way, when they're clicking and trying to go through their store? I've had this problem since yesterday, on and off. Anybody else getting it or trying to click manual transactions, same thing? I don't know what's going on. So maybe if you guys aren't having the same problems, see, I'm wondering. All right, so we're going to go ahead and try signing out and trying with a different one. And I apologize for this. And if not, I got a backup. Don't worry about it. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's sign up under a different name. And see if this is going to work. Now let's try it again. Catalog Manager. Aha! Thank you. Must be that name. Don't know what's going on there. All right, so we go into Catalog Manager, and there's this little tab here that says Upload, Download. Now, I'll be honest, when it comes to the Catalog Manager, I don't upload a lot of products through here. I like to do it through the actual Yahoo store. But if I've got a lot of different changes that I need to do, or I really need to change like quite a few products, then I'll go ahead and use this download to figure out what's in the store, what's not in the store. So let me go ahead and click on the download button, do the default table, save our file, and let's go ahead and open it up. Now, last week I showed you all the different variables that we've created. And so just to kind of give you an idea, let's go back through and kind of look at those before we go into the actual download. And these custom variables are what I showed you last week that did all that awesome programming that we have that makes our job so much easier. So basically what we've added is manufacturer, brand, classification, which is something that Google wants, jelly roll. Is it a jelly roll? Is it a charm pack? Is it a layer cake? Is it a bundle? Is it yardage? Is it a kit? Is it a pattern? We want to know the collection, the designer, if it's new, if it's hot, if it's what's coming. We can add multiple insets. We've got a long description that shows up on the bottom of the page because we want to use our short descriptions on the top, especially on those section pages. Put a longer description on the bottom so that way our products are above the fold. We've got, is this a pre-order? Is it moda yardage, fat quarters, manufacturer part number, half yard, 30% off, notions, home, date added, and if it's a moda bundle. Now, just to give you a real quick review just real quick so that way you guys kind of know what we're doing. If we say yes, it's hot, it automatically shows up in this category, what's hot. If we say it's new, it will automatically show up in this what's new category. If we say it's 30% off, it will automatically show up there. If we say it's a charm pack, a jelly roll, a layer cake, it automatically shows up where it needs to be based on the database programming for the website. All right, so now, and see, I told you you would hear my dogs. All right, so now what we want to do is let's take a look at this that we've downloaded from Yahoo. And as you can see, all the variables that are in that site, that are in the store, are also being included in this database folder. Okay, so here we see, you know, price, scrap bag, what's new, gift certificate, yardage, classification, charm pack, name, notion, brand, fat quarter, all that stuff is all included here. Now, what you can do with this is you can kind of sort and you can see what's what. So let's say I just wanted to see what products are 30% off. I can come over here and I can say custom sort, make sure that you put my data has headers, and that basically says that, you know, this row is for that. And I just want to look at 30%, hit OK. And of course, this happens with the caption. I hate it when it does that. It drives me absolutely crazy. Sometimes what I'll do is, I'll show you a trick for that, by the way. If I know I'm not going to change any of the captions and I don't want to have that problem with it, I'll show you what I do here. Let's do a redo on the data. I will actually go through and cut the caption because that's what's making it do that. Where's our caption here? Got so much in here, it's hard to figure out what I got in here and what I don't. Okay. Data, what's hot? Caption, there it is. And I put delete. Look at what I did. Sorry about that, guys. I had too much chocolate this morning. There's our caption. Okay, delete. Now I can sort, and I'm not going to have that problem. So let's go ahead and do a custom sort, and I'm going to look at all items that are 30% off. So now what I do is I go down this 30% off column, and I can scroll down and find out where they start with yeses. So still got a few that are big, probably from the captions or from the options. And here we go with the 30% off. And now I can see all the items that are 30% off. I can make changes to them. I can look at what's not 30% off, and I can make changes to that as well. This is just your basic file, and you can use this to make changes across the board for your store. Now, if you want to make changes to prices easily, you can do that from here. It's really absolutely wonderful to have this base file for you. I'll be honest that when I first get this folder, I get rid of anything that I don't need. You know, I don't need whether it's orderable. I don't need, you know, some of the family stuff and the classification. I don't need all of that. So when we're looking at uploading changes to the store, most people are like, okay, well, what do I need to keep in there? The only absolute thing that you need to keep in this database file is the ID. That's it. Because when you make changes, it's based upon the ID of the product. So what is the ID? The ID is the URL of the page, basically. So this ID is called super-sale. I can also click on, go back to 30%. I can also click on edit and be able to see the ID right there, super-sale. Okay? So that's the most important thing we need to have in this database file is the ID. So that way when we upload this file, it says, okay, this is the ID we need to work with, and this is the changes that we need to make. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. All right, so let's go in. I'm going to go into the live site real quickly, and I'm going to say, okay, I want to make changes to the Little Rascals collection, and all I'm going to change is the price. So what I would probably do in this situation is I would get rid of everything except for the collection, the price, and the sale price, because I want to change just the prices on that one collection. Now, of course, you could do this for as much as you want, anything else. So we're going to go into, I'm going to make it 30%, so I'm actually going to keep that so I can change that. And I'm just going to go ahead and remove these columns, half yard, product URL, orderable, home, manufacturer, designer, taxable, Moda. All right, there's our price. And the only thing I really need is to know what collection it's from, so that way I can sort it. So now I've got, the only thing I have on here is whether it's going to be 30%, because I am changing the prices, so it's 30% off. I've got the sale price, I've got the price, and I have what collection it's from. So now I'm going to just go ahead and do a custom sort by collection so that I can find the collection that I want to put on special. And the one that I want to do is called Little Rascals. And here is where it starts. So I am going to just go ahead and delete everything but that first row above it. And I'm going to delete everything below it. Okay? All right, so now I need to make this item 30% off. Well, you could go through and try to calculate it by yourself, or if if you're doing this for a lot of products, all you need to know is some formulas within Excel or databases. So basically what I can say is I want this sale to equal this times 0.7, because that will give me 70% of what the product will cost, or 30% off. And that figures it out for me. Now I want to apply this to the different cells below that. So all I have to do is hit copy, and it's going to take that formula when I hit paste and put it in there for me. So now we have the price of 30% off. Formulas are very easy to work with to help you, especially with numbers. I love that it works with the numbers so well. Now instead of 30% off no, we want to change this to yes. And again, I can just copy it and paste. Now if I even if I had 200 different things down here, all I'd have to do is just go down the column as much as I want and right-click to hit paste. And it's going to paste all of that down, even if it's a formula or if it's not a formula, whatever the case may be. All right, so now I'm going to save this with a different name so I can upload it. And I'm going to do save as. I like to do it from my desktop. And we're going to call this a test upload. And we're going to save it as a CSV file. Okay? Now we're going to go into the store editor. We're going to click on database upload, new upload. We're going to browse to find our file on the desktop. So here's our test upload. And then we click on the upload button. Now here you're not committed. You are not committed here at all. You can go back and re-upload it. You can make changes. You can see what's going on here. We can see that, okay, 1, here's 2, here's 3. If we had any type of errors, we would see that too. So we haven't committed to anything in the store yet. Not whatsoever. It's just basically sitting there going, are you sure you want to put this into your store? So I want to say, yes, I do want to commit this. So I'm going to click on add. Now, never, 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 never hit this rebuild button. It will basically wipe out your entire store and start you off brand new. The problem is that it usually will wipe out a lot of pages that you didn't mean to. So if I want to go and I want to like delete all my categories and all my products, I just create a delete page and put all the contents in there. I never use that rebuild button. That rebuild button is bad, 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 okay? And if you click on it, it will say, are you sure? Watch, rebuild. So if you accidentally click it, don't worry. You still have a chance to go, no, I don't want to rebuild my site. Cancel, cancel. All right? So all we want to do is click add. We always want to click add. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the add button. It's going to make our changes. And it's done. Now let's go into our site and see what happened. All right, so we came up to this page. We're going to go look at Little Rascals. We want to make sure that the price shows 30% off, and we want to make sure that it went in our 30% off category automatically. So, all right, we take a look at this product, and you save 30%. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Now, our special programming should have put this in the 30% off fabric because we chose yes in our database file. So we'll just go ahead and look over this page, make sure Little Rascal shows up, and there it is right there on the 30% off page. Perfect. All right, we're off to a great start. Now we've gone and uploaded and changed products. Again, we can do this multiple times. Now the big thing that most people want to download their file and re-upload it for is the product URL. You want to fill in product URL. What is that? All right, let's come in here. Let's click on edit, scroll down, and here's the product URL field. What this is doing is, which I'm not really sure why, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Well, there's some that use it and there's some that don't. The product URL field, if you go into your manager and you click on search engines, all right, you can see here that Yahoo makes these product catalogs for shopping comparison engines. Unfortunately, it doesn't do a very good job of Google Shopping. You really need to get a service or do it on your own for that. There are a few other ones that will take these, such as the Price Grabber and Yahoo Shopping because they're connected with the stores. But what you need to do is you need to tell the store and this so that it comes into this file that gets uploaded what the product URLs are. What's the URLs of each individual product? And most people would go in by hand and put in that actual URL. And that is just big waste of time. Huge waste of time. So we don't want to do that. But we put in some new products and we don't have product URLs in place. I believe let's look at, yes, here's one. Click edit. And as you can see, we don't have the product URLs in place. So what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and grab that download file again, and now I want to replace the product URLs. And this is something that you absolutely must do for your store, okay? Must do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in my manager just to be on the safe side. I'm going to go back to Catalog Manager, and I'm going to download a new file, because I just want to make sure that we get all of the shopping URLs done. All right, so I'm going to save this file again, and we're going to open up this file. All right, now I'm going to close this. No, I'm going to go ahead and close that first file we created for the 30% off, and we're going to go back here. All right, so for product URLs, the only two columns that we need is the ID and the product URL. So everything else we are going to delete off of this. Here's the product URL column. So we're just going to do delete and come all the way over here and do delete. Now we see that there's quite a few items that already have the product URL. No problem. Now if we just wanted to fix the ones that don't have product URL completed, we can actually come in here and do a custom sort. Make sure it says, see how it says column A, column B? That means that your file is not reading the headers. So just click on My Data Has Headers, and then you'll go ahead and see those options down here. So we're going to do a sort by product URL just so we can grab any IDs that don't have the product URL filled in. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down the list here until I run out. There we go. So there's a couple products that we need to add that to in a couple of different pages. So everything above it, I'm just going to go ahead and delete. Okay, so now I just have all the ones I want to do product URLs for. Now, there's a little secret method that I use here, and I never say the word correctly. I always say the word so I remember how to spell it. What we're going to do is we're going to combine text with cells, and I do have this. If you go to One Choice for Quilting and you look up database uploads, okay, I have this up here, very first one, that's going to go over some more of this, and it also goes over the product URL. So everything is here, so you don't have to worry about that if you get lost, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So what I do is we put in, this cell is going to equal, so you put the equal sign, and I say con, C-O-N, Kate, C-A-T-E, Nate. I never could spell it correctly. Never, 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 never. And it would always come up that my formula was wrong. So now I have to specifically say Con, Kate, Nate, and I get it correctly. All right, so now we need to put our formula in parentheses. So we're going to go ahead and start that. And we're going to put in text. So whatever text we're using has to go into quotes. So I'm going to do quote, and I'm going to put in our URL, http://www.onechoiceforquilting.com, and we're going to need another slash in here because we're making full URLs, okay? Close up the quotes around it, and now put in a comma, and we want to put in the cell information. So for instance, we want to go straight across over here and grab A2. So we're going to put in A2, another comma, quote, dot HTML, quote, in parentheses. And that's the formula that we're using. So what it's going to do is it's going to put in the name of our store, then the ID, then .html. So let's go ahead and give it a try. Click on enter. And that looks real good. Now, what we're going to do is, before we even upload this, we are going to test it. Before we do that, though, we need to copy, and then we're going to paste all the way down and click paste. And that formula, as you can see, changes with the new line that it's on. So, for instance, we are on B5, so now if we look up here, or I'm sorry, B6, if we look up here, you'll notice the formula has already changed to say grab A6 instead of A2, okay? Perfect. We've got all these great URLs. So now what we want to do is test the URL. Well, if we came in here and we just copied that and we opened a new tab, put it in, we can see that it works. We can see that it works, that it took us to the page that we're supposed to be to. Now let's go ahead and try that again towards the middle, because again, this is an important field to have. Which, by the way, one of the other things that this field does for you is, let's say our customer comes here and adds to the cart. When they go to click this link here, it will take them to what the product URL says. So if you mess up the product URL, they're going to a completely different item. So that's why it's always good, especially when you just get started, to kind of go through and just double check. This is, it says it's supposed to go to the ID Ruby. All right, well, let's make sure. We're on the page Ruby. There's the ID Ruby. Everything looks good. So now all we have to do is save it and upload it. So this time I'm going to save it to our desktop, and I'm going to call it PU for product URLs. save and just say yes. All right, now let's go back into our store. Oops, sorry. Let's go back into the back end into the store because, again, I really prefer to do this in the store. I'm going to go to database upload. We're going to do a new upload. And let's find our PU file. Click on upload. And again, we can do another double check system here. When you're first doing this, use all the double check systems that you can. So we're viewing 1 out of 51. Let's go to record number 25. The ID should be Meadow Friends. This says Meadow Friends. Everything is looking good. Again, never hit the rebuild. Just click add. Now, of course, if you do new upload, it's basically going to wipe out what you just uploaded. And this is really great because let's say we found a problem. Well, all we'd have to do is go back to this file, click save, and we can go in and upload this file again. It's not going to cause any problems. It's only committed to the store once you actually click on the add button. So let's go ahead and click on the add button. Okay, so we did our first double check system in the actual file itself. We did a second double check system on the product URLs by checking it here. Now we're going to do a third double check system. I'm going to pick a random number. All right, so it says ID should be this here, Modern V. I'm going to copy the ID. I'm going to click on Contents, and I'm going to click on Find. Now, if you don't have the Find button here, Julie, yes, I am going to have the I am recording this and I'll have the upload. Sorry guys, Julie's having problems with her internet and because of the storms. So just for you guys, if you go to this button on One Choice for Your Store, it's got all the webinars that we've got and the watch rebroadcast. After a little bit, of course, it will move down here and where you can watch other rebroadcasts as well. So I am recording it and it will be there on that page by this time tomorrow. Okay, back to our store. So we want to click on the Find button. Now, if you don't have a Find button here, all right, or you don't even have the double row, some people don't even know this, this double row means that you're in advanced. When you click on that little red button, it puts you in kind of like a beginner mode. All right, so to get to advanced editor, you just click on that little red arrow. Now, if you always want to be in advanced, all you have to do is go to controls and click on advanced. And that you want the site buttons on every page. By the way, that's a huge time saver. Just changing site buttons to every page means that you can publish from any page. You don't have to go all the way back to the home just to hit the publish page or just to go to manager. It's on every single page. All right, and then show Find button, hit yes, and that's under controls. While we're here, we can also just paste the ID where it says edit by ID, click edit, and it takes us directly to the page within our store. So you can use the Find button. So let's hit Find, edit by ID. By the way, I have a special mouse that does copy and paste on the side buttons, so that's why you're not seeing copy paste, so I apologize. But I pasted that ID, I click Find, and now it takes me directly to this page. I'm going to click edit. I'm going to go down to product URL. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to open it up over here and make sure that it takes me to the exact same page. And it did. It took me to the exact same page. So right now, everything looks good. I would like to go ahead and upload this now or publish it now. And so you could publish it and be done and have a great day. All right, so now let's talk about adding new products. First of all, I know this is a crazy discussion, but do you have any questions so far about what we've covered? While I grab a Diet Coke. Drink a Diet Coke. We're doing so far so good. Okay. And again, I know for some of you, this is like, Whoa, Shauna, way over my head. Some of you are like, oh, I got this. I just needed someone to show me. Please remember, site search, database uploads, click on that first link, and I've got a sample download that you can do. I've got more information that you can use. I've got more information on all the different things that you have to put in, okay? Julie wants to know, you can still do this with a custom store. Absolutely, you can do this with a custom store. You can do this with any kind of store you've got, okay? All right, so now let's go ahead and let's do a brand new file. So I'm just going to close this one. And this is one that I recently added to the store just a couple of days ago. And I've got the bare necessities on here, which is ID, price, code, name. Really, that's all you have to have on there to add a new product. ID, price, code. Actually, you don't even need the code. Yahoo Store will put one in for you. And so we preferably want to add the caption field because we want to add our own description to the product. And there are some other great fields that you can use as well. So again, the ID is the ID of the page. We've got price. You've got sale price. You don't have to put in .00. You don't have to put in the $sign. Very quick, very easy. For the name feature, this is something that I also use. I change IDs and I change the name using that concatenate. I use that thing constantly, because you're getting products in that the code is putting in as the ID, and you want to make it search engine friendly. The concatenate is a great way to go. Great way to go. So anyway, I've got my designer. I've got what's new, what's hot. I can add any variable I want here, any variable at all. Now, there are a couple things that I want to point out. The path is, where do you want this new item to go? If it's a brand new section that you want to create, you just put in the name of the section. But if you wanted to upload this product to an area in your store that's already created, let's say that we got in some new strawberry fields and I want to add it to the store. I already have a page called Strawberry Fields. That's where I want it to go. So what I would do is I would go to that particular section. I didn't realize it was so far down. All right, so I'd go to that particular section and I would grab the ID. So the ID is strawberry-fields. In the path, that's what I would use for path. I want it to go to this page. So it's going to go look and see if that page even exists in the store. If it does, it puts it in there. If it doesn't exist, it will create that page for you. Very nice, very simple, very lovely. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going, now I've got 4 monitors here, so you might not be able to see all of this, but I'm going to show you how I would put in an entire new collection, okay? And it might take me a little bit here, but I want to make sure that I show you how I do it. Now I'm going to actually, let me open this up. Kind of put this in here, and I'm just going to click edit so I can grab what I want out of here. So I know I'm going to need ID, price, sale price, code. The color I use for something a little bit different. Now somebody's asking about the images. I'll show you how to do that. Let's see. ID, price, sale price, code, name. Jelly Roll, I want to know if it's that. I wanted the collection. I want to know if it's hot. I want the manufacturer. I want the brand. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go in here. All right, so the one that I want to do, whoops, come on now. Okay, so I've got it now. All right, so the code on, I'm going to go ahead and start. This is how I personally do it. Yes, you can create a column for any attribute that you can come up with, which, like for instance, I've added a column for date added. This is for my own personal information. It doesn't go on the store. It doesn't go on the site. I just went into Catalog Manager and created that attribute, and now I can add it to my column and get that information. Because what was happening is I put all of our products on the 30% off after they've been out for 3 months if I haven't sold out of them. Well, the problem is that like we had a collection that discounted 4 or 5 months ago, but we were able to get some more product in, and I didn't want to sell it at 30% off, but yet I looked at it 3 weeks later and thought, well, when did I add this? Should I let it stay on the site a little bit more at 20% off, or when did I didn't know when I added it. So I wanted to have the date added. So that way, if it was something that we just got in again that's really hot, even though it's already been 3 months, that product may be super hot and super selling, and I don't want to put it at 30% because we just got it in stock. Sometimes that happens. So hopefully that helps. All right, so the big thing I'm looking at right now is the code of the product, and I'm in the back end on another screen here. Let me actually come over here so you can see this. I'm in the back end of Moda. Somebody asked if the upload process works with other Office spreadsheets. No, as long as, yes, as long as you can create a CSV file, okay, comma delimited, you can use anything that you want. Some people use Access. Some people even use on the one on Mac, I think it's Numbers. I've even created Excel files on my iPad using Numbers. Some of them will use Google Documents. So any place that you can create, just you want to make sure you click New Upload. It's going to say what is the data format. Is it CSV or bar delimited? So is it a comma or a bar? You just have to specify, and that way it knows to look at the different columns. All right, so let's go back. We're in the back end of Moda. We're going to go into our upload file. So here's the codes that I'm looking at. So I'm going to do 32430AB. And when I say color on here, I'm actually talking about the cut. So I'm going to change that to cut, and we're going to say that's a bundle. And this one is JR. It's a jelly roll. And I'll show you why I'm putting that in specifically. 32430LC is a layer cake. And 32430PP is a charm pack. Okay, so now I want to look at, this one is called Rooftop Garden, and it's made by Moda. So under collection, I'm going to put Rooftop Garden. Designer is Moda. I'm just going to copy those and paste those here because they're going to be all the same because it's the same collection. It's going to go under what's new. Yes. Is it hot? Not yet, so I'm just not going to fill that in. Okay. And manufacturer, of course, is Moda. Now this says, oh, okay. This is manufacturer part number. This is a new thing that Google wants in Google Shopping. So it's basically the same thing as the code. So if I'm adding in like 60 different products, I don't want to retype in that information. So instead, all I do is I put in, let me clear this out, I put in equals, and then I put in the cell number for the code. So equals D2. And it just copies whatever's in that column, that number, and puts the information. I'm going to copy that and paste it down. Okay? Next is Moda is a manufacturer brand. The date is 8/3, and the path. So the path, again, this is going to be the name of the collection because we put everything under the collection. So instead of typing it, I can also put in, because we don't have this collection in the store yet, so we're going to create something new, equals J2, because I don't want to type all of that information again, but I actually want to copy this entire 4 cells all the way down just to make life easier. So just highlight, hit paste, highlight, hit paste. Okay, now I have to come over here and say, is it a jelly roll, a charm pack, or a layer cake? And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this bundle here because I'm not actually sure we're getting that. So let me delete that. Delete. Okay, so jelly roll, yes. This one's a layer cake, yes. And this one's a charm pack. Notice you don't have to put in no. The automatic default for all these products is no. So if we change that to yes, then it will make the changes. If we don't put anything there, then it doesn't say anything. All right, so we're going to go back over here. And now we know. All right, so here's the prices of the product. So I can say this is equals 19.5 times 2. Same thing here, 1950 times 2. And this one is equals 475 times 2. So I want to basically charge double of what I'm buying it for, okay? Now for sale price, I want to put it as 20% off, and the easy way to do that is just put in, I think we covered this before, equals, take the regular price, which is in column B, row 2, and then times that times 0.8, because we want the answer to be 80, we want 80% to be the sale price, right? Copy, paste that, so that put in the product at 20% off. Now we get to the ID. Now, normally the ID that most people would use is the code because that is what the images are named. The images from Moda, which I should start downloading now, are going to be named with the product code. Well, I don't want our URLs to have that, and I also don't want to upload by hand. So this is what we're going to do. This is going to take a little bit to download, so I'm going to go ahead and come in here and start downloading the collection image, which I believe it was rooftop. Okay. JPEG images are here, and I'm going to show you how I have changed all of these image names. Yes, it has something to do with the alt tag because when you're in our store and you're looking at the alt tag for this image, I want it, well, the alt tag is usually the name of the product, so if that helps. But it also helps if you're uploading your images someplace else for databases, it helps to have them match the products a little bit more. Because as you guys know, if we look at this image, it doesn't have the name of the image that we put in. And the reason why Yahoo does that is so that somebody can't go in, steal your images, use that URL, and populate their own site, killing your bandwidth. Because normally, you would get charged for all this bandwidth, and you do have a cap on how much bandwidth you can use. The cap, normally you won't even cover it. Don't worry about it. It's nothing you should have in your head. But if you were to have a whole bunch of people stealing your images and using those exact files, then you would have a problem with it. So that's the reason with that and all that good stuff. All right, so this is downloading, and what I want to do is I want to put the name of the collection and then the code as the ID. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in equal, and again, concatenate. This is such a great thing that you can combine all kinds of crazy stuff. So I want to put the name of the collection, which is under J, and the same row would be J2, and then I'm going to put in a comma. Now I'm going to put in a little dash because I want to have a dash between the collection name and the code. If we don't put in that dash, then it's going to look like rooftop dash garden, then the code right after it, and it won't make a lot of sense. As a matter of fact, let me just show you what that would look like. So if I just put in J2 and D2 and just made it that all by itself, notice how there's no spacing in here. It doesn't look quite right. It won't look quite right at all. So that's why I'm putting in quote, dash, quote, comma. And now we've got rooftop garden dash. Now you're wondering about the space here in the ID. The lovely thing about the Yahoo store is that you don't have to go in and physically remove all those spaces and put in dashes. If you put a space in for the ID, Yahoo will assume that that needs to have a dash there instead of nothing or putting the two, combining the two words. So again, this is all about working smarter, not harder. Don't go through the work of having to do that. All right, I'm going to paste this in to the other sections, and notice it changes automatically. So that's going to be the ID of the page. The ID now is a little bit more relevant to what people are looking for. Now let's do the name. All right, so, and I told you I put in the cut here, right? There's a reason why. I don't want the name to just say rooftop garden. I want it to show who it was made by, who was the designer, what's the collection, and I also want to show the SKU and what type of product it is. Normally people would use color, so I'm going to use cut because it's a pre-cut. And I'm going to do, again, concatenate. All right, so now we've got the you know what I'm saying, that thing, that curve thing. It's been a long day. All right, so we want to put in the name, and if we follow the same format that we've used on our website, it goes, let's go into a charm packs. It goes collection name, what type of cut it is, by who, for the brand, and then the SKU. So let's go ahead and put that in. So we need the collection name, which is J2, comma, let's put in a space. Now we need what type of cut it is. We're going to put in E2, and now we're going to say by space, and we want to know who was the designer, which is under K2. And now we're going to type in space for, and now we want to know what brand, who was the brand name on this, which is under P2, so P2. And now we want to say SKU number space, and now we want to put in the actual code of the product, D2. So now let's look at what the name of this product is going to say. Rooftop Garden Jelly Roll by Moda for Moda SKU number. Now you don't have to do this on every single product now. This, once you set up the first time, now you just copy, paste, and look at that. It's created the names that we needed. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So now we've got ID, price, sale price code. The cut is not something that actually we use in the store, and you'll see that error, but I want you to see that. We've got what type of product it is. We've got the collection, the designer, manufacturer part number, and we've even got a path. So now let's go ahead and call this rooftop. And now let's go into the back end of our Yahoo store. Again, we're on database uploads. We're going to click on rooftop and click on the upload button. Now it says warning, field cut will not be used. That cut that we put in there, that little cell, that was just for our own use so that we could concatenate the name of the product, and so we could put that in there. So even though it says warning, this will not be used, we can still just go ahead and hit upload, and it's just going to delete that for us. Now, if this was an actual variable that we had and we put it in incorrectly, it would give us a chance to go back through and correct our mistakes. But since we know that that is a mistake we want to have, we're just going to click on the Add button. Yes, Add. And now let's go into Contents and click on Index. Now, all we said is that the path is going to be Rooftop Garden. We didn't say anything else. So if we look at the very bottom of our left navigation bar, it says Rooftop Garden. There's our brand new thing. And I always do it that way because now I know, okay, this is down here. I need to take a look at it. I need to do the images. Then I need to cut this section and put it where it needs to be. That's personally my own favorite way to do it. If you get some IDs down here that are already placed within your store, well, then all you have to do is just click Edit and look under Contents, and you'll find that ID, Rooftop Garden. I can just remove that out of there and click Update, and now it's not going to show up here anymore. Of course, it's not placed anywhere within the store, so if I go to Contents, and I'm going to have to go find it. Now, one of the things that you'll probably notice is anything that you had cut on your clipboard is now gone from the top of your Yahoo store. So some people, I'll go into their stores and they'll have like 100 things on here. What I've done to solve that problem is I've created a new section called On Hold Items. And anything that I need to be cut from the store, I just cut it and I paste it onto On Hold Items. This is all the stuff that I don't want in the store, but I'm not really sure if I want to delete it yet. I just want to make sure it's cut. But every time I do an upload, I don't want to have to go re-find all of these products and cut them. So I just put them in this one section, and I hit Cut, and it removes all those products that are in that section itself. Now I've got my clipboard again, and everything is good. I hope that made some sense to some people because I know a lot of people have that problem. All right, so Julie had a really great question. What are we going to do with those images? So now we're going to go in. I'm going to go back over here. And if you remember correctly, we put in the code. We put in the name of the collection in front of the code. So now let's open up the images that we received from our manufacturer. And if we look at these images, they have the code, but that's it. And in order to use the multiple image upload button, which, by the way, if you hit Controls, click on multiple image upload, the name of the images has to match the ID of the page, okay? That's how it says, oh, you belong with product A, and you belong with product B, and you belong with product C. Now, we've downloaded these images from our manufacturer, and if we were to do the multiple database upload or multiple image upload right now, it would not find the ID 32436. Actually, you did the pre-cut, so it's not going to find those images. It's not going to see them in there at all because we changed the IDs. We've made changes to those IDs. So instead, what you want to do, and I really wish that these images were in here that we needed because I didn't realize it wasn't going to give us those images, but I'm going to show you how you would conquer that. You would just click Select All. Oh, I need to extract this, sorry. Hang on one second. That's a WinZip thing. Extract all, unzip. Okay. So we're going to unzip all those files, put them here. All right. I have this program that I absolutely love. And it's called File Renamer. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to click on File Renamer, and I'm going to open this up. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these images, and I'm going to rename it because I did not realize they didn't have the images we needed in here. So I'm just going to take one image, and I'm going to change it to our needs. And I'm going to make it the same thing as what our product should be, which is the code, how it would normally come, and I do apologize for that. I had hoped we had gotten a good one. Dang it. All right, so we're going to change this one to the first one. Ah! No, I need the code. Come on now. Rename. All right, now this one. Okay, there we go. 324-30JR. We're going to name this one 324LC, and we're going to rename this one PP. Okay, so now we've got them how we would normally get them from the distributor. These are the only 3 images I'm really worried about, but let's say we were going to upload all of these images, okay? So I'm going to go in here. Just going to go ahead and cut these out of here. All right, so these are the images we have from our manufacturer. They've got the code on them, but we need to change them. So we're going to go into File Renamer, and we're going to go find that file that I created. All right, so this shows, all, and it's called File Renamer Basic. This shows all the images that are within that file, and as you can see, they have all the codes on there. But again, we want to change this and put the name of the collection in front of it because that's the way we put in the ID of the store. So instead of uploading this, we're going to click on Prefix, Include, and all of them include rooftop-garden-. And as you can see, sample file name down here, this shows you what we're doing. File name, leave unchanged. We don't need a separator. We don't need a unique parameter. All we want to do is add rooftop-garden- in front of the code that's named in this for the images. And we want to leave the extension unchanged. We hit preview, and if we look at the preview button, that looks like the IDs of our product. Let's go down here. That's the ID of the product on the 3 that we need. That's perfect. We hit apply. Okay, so if you have your own images, do you put them in a folder and name them is one of the questions we have. You can, or you can just upload by hand. Most times what will happen, though, is you're going to get a collection of images that just have the code and nothing else. So if there's a way that you can do a bulk rename like this, it really is helping you to work smarter, not harder. All right, so we've got these changed. We're going to edit, exit out of here. Now all of our images are done. So now what we're going to do is select our images, and we're going to zip them up. Just zip them up. Ah, come on now. All right. Send to compressed zip folder. Done. Okay, so now we've got this one zip file that has all of these images. So we are in, just so you guys know where we're going again, we are in Controls, Multiple Image Upload, and we're going to go into our file, find our zip folder, click on Send. Now what's going to happen is this folder is going to upload, and it's going to match IDs to pages, IDs to pages, IDs to pages, and the images, and it's going to put those images on those pages. Now, depending on how big this file is, this may take an hour. This may take 5 minutes. You know, it really just depends on a lot of different factors. If I'm uploading a ton of images, and I do mean a ton, I've done it where I've uploaded over 2,000 at a time. I mean, it just depends on how big you can get that zip file, and it's not too big for being uploaded. But I mean, I've done it. Well, what I'll do is I will go upload it and then go to bed and let the Yahoo store do its thing while I'm sleeping, and I don't have to wait around for it. But what happens when this is done, it takes you back to the previous page, and it's done. it's basically done. All the images are uploaded. Everything's taken care of. You might have one or two that maybe didn't get in quite right because maybe the file was too big or whatever the case may be, but this is pretty much it. I mean, now you've done where you've created a new upload, you've made changes, you've created product URLs, which is the biggest thing we get asked about, and now we're doing the images. So while this is finishing up, this hopefully shouldn't take too long, can I answer any more questions for you guys about the database upload feature or putting your Yahoo store on speed? Because I just love working smarter, not harder. I mean, good Lord, we all have enough to do, and we don't want to be stuck doing this, you know, on your own, and just having to go through all this work. It's just way too much, way too much. So I know, again, I know I covered a lot here, and you guys have asked some really great questions so far, but all this information is right here on Database Upload. It tells you, you know, this is the path, this is the ID, the name, the code, the caption, options, product URL. It talks about how to do the images. We've got some more information on it. We got some information from Yahoo. I mean, if you go into your Yahoo store, let's go into the store manager here, and even if you do database uploads here under search store help, you're going to get a lot of great information about uploading and can you use FTP, all kinds of really great information. And here's the uploading uploading images, uploading inventory, cross sells, all kinds of good stuff. It's all covered under there. Actually, Bill wants to know, if we were unable to get here on time, will this be recorded? So yes, I know that questions come up a couple times. Within probably about this time tomorrow, because it takes a while to do, when you go to our homepage and click on free webinar, and it will be listed under here with all the other ones, and it will say watch the rebroadcast. And the other thing is that if you follow our blog, blog.onechoiceforyourstore.com, it will also, the webinar relisting will be on there. Oh, and speaking of our blog, oh my God, I forgot to tell you guys. Okay, something really exciting that we're doing that I've got going. We talked about the Now What project and how, you know, I'm documenting everything. One of the ways that I actually brought this brand new store up to, you know, $57,000 in 6 months is by blogging. Blogging. Really, it gains your customers' trust. It helps you to listen to customers. It really helps you to connect with customers. And I saw that when I was down for my surgery and I wasn't blogging like I normally was, holy cow, did sales go down. It went down big time. And blogs are incredible for your Yahoo store. One of the, you know, things that you can share is keyword research. You can share information about products. You can have your customers submit ideas. There's all kinds of things, because what they say is blogs get 55% more visitors than your regular website and 97% more inbound links, 434% more index pages in the search engines. Yes, in the search engines. I can have a blog come out on one of our sites, and 2 minutes later I can find it in Google search. I can't do that with brand new products. With brand new products, it takes a couple of days. But with a blog, I had it in there in 2 minutes. That's the fastest time I've had it. It is incredibly fast. I use Blogger because it's from Google, it's plain, it's simple. I mean, all of our blogs are powered by Blogger, and they're beautiful, and I don't have to worry about, you know, downloading software updates and all. I don't want to do all that. I just want to blog, so I let Google take care of that. Anyway, so I'm having this 30-day challenge, which is you blog every day for 30 days straight. And you can start between now and Sunday, starting your 30 days. But I want you to blog once a day, every day for 30 days, the same blog for your store, okay? Because this is really great for you. And what we're doing is if you join in on it, we are doing a contest that any blogs that complete the challenge are going to be eligible for a $100 gift card. And that will, you know, if we get enough people to do this, we're actually going to increase the amount of gift cards that we're going to give out. Okay, and this is just awesome. This is just awesome. So we want this to be a blog that's connected with your e-commerce site, because that's the whole purpose of it, is to get e-commerce site owners blogging. And the big thing you want to make sure that you're doing is that you want to follow an 80-20 rule. Okay, 80% of your posts should be about creative and education, and only 20% of your posts should do a soft sell. That's it. You want to follow that 80-20 rule. You can do contests. You can do education. You can have your customers write in blog posts for you, as long as your blog posts one post every single day. And it's just a way to help you increase sales. What you're going to love is you're going to increase sales. You're going to increase your search engine rankings, and you're going to increase your traffic and sales by doing this challenge. Plus, there's an extra bonus. You might get a $100 gift card too. So it's a win-win-win. Go to nowwhatproject.com. I'm going to be posting every single day on there how to do more with your blog and what to blog about. And I'm joining you right in the project too. I'm going to be doing it for our quilting site. So anyway, nowwhatproject.com. It has all the information. All right, so let's get back to our images. And actually, it's all done. It's done the images, and we get back to this page. We click on update. By the way, I live in the sticks. And there we go. Here's our new images, the new products we created. I'm going to go back to the full section here. Here is the new section we created. Here are all the items that we added, and notice all the pictures are in there. Everything looks gorgeous. Everything looks beautiful. It's perfect. All we'd have to do now is just upload. Well, I can't upload, or all we have to do now is publish. So unfortunately, this product is not in yet, so I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to publish, so that way at least it does the changes that we did together. But I won't hit publish till we're done, dang it, in case you have questions. Okay. So Bill, yes, it's being recorded. Follow our blog and make sure to join the challenge. So Kent says, if we have 8,000 products and need to add new info to the products, do we do an add or rebuild? Always, 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 always do an add. Never do a rebuild. If there's a bunch of products that I need to delete, let's say I wanted to delete pretty much everything in my store, okay? All I would do is click edit, grab all the contents that are listed here. Let's see, select all, hit copy, hit cancel. I would go into contents, I would click new, I would say delete is the name, continue, delete is the name. I would put in the contents and click update. This basically has my entire left navigation right here. And I could hit delete and delete everything that's within the store basically, except for my important pages. That's the way I would prefer that you did it, because it's not going to delete any pages that are crucial to your store. So I'm going to go ahead and update that so I don't delete my entire store. That would be good. We're on a good roll, and we're teaching Yahoo store owners how to be more successful with this store. I love it. I hope you guys are enjoying getting like a back-end view of everything that we're doing. And I'll tell you what, if about the blogging challenge, look at this. Let me go to our references. This was our blog. See, as you can see in Google, we're steadily climbing. But you can also see by the amount of traffic that we have, I mean, this is natural. We're not paying for AdWords. We're not doing anything like that. The only thing that we've used to make this store get $57,000 in sales in 6 months' time is social media. We paid $2 a day in advertising. That's it. It was all done through social media. And part of that social media was our blog. So let's take a look at the blog. And you can definitely see we were doing better, 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 and then it just dropped. And that was after surgery. And this was when I couldn't blog. Now, as you can see, I'm starting to blog more, and we're starting to get more traffic. And you're seeing it go up and up and up and up and up. Now, These numbers, don't rely on these numbers, because these numbers, if I compare them with Google Analytics, is a lie. For instance, this is saying that, we had this many people come in from the blog. Well, I know that's not right because I've seen a heck of a lot more people come in from the blog. And I'm following it on Google Analytics and Yahoo Analytics. None of the analytics are going to tell you specifically that 100 people came in from your blog. What it will tell you is trends. The trend was we were getting nowhere traffic from our blog until we started going back to blogging almost every single day, and then bam, now we've got a really good group of people coming in. This is what we're seeing. If we look at the last 90 days, we can see the same trend. When we were blogging, we got traffic. When we stopped, we didn't. And then we started and kicked back up again. That's the trend. So blogs are amazing. Blogs are going to get you that traffic. If you look at our blog has brought in half the sales that Google has. Now, granted, this is natural rankings for a store that's only 6 months old, but look at all those sales we would have lost. We got $10,000 from Google, $5,000 from our blog. If Google leaves you tomorrow and the Panda update hits you, or the next whatever update hits you and you lose all of Google, you want to have more eggs in a basket, which is why you need to focus on social media. Social media is so important, and that's how we grew this site, is through social media. And the first step of that is blogging. So I hope you join the blogging challenge. And yes, you can do the 8,000. Jonathan, is Yahoo Store Editor 101 up to date on this process? This particular process of uploading stores, no. It's more of, well, I think it's got some in there. The best thing you can do is go to our site and put in database uploads. You'll find more relevant information that's really going to be up to date on that. Julie wants to know any specials going on to place a blog on your Yahoo store. Absolutely. Email me, support@1c4y.com, and we'll make sure you get some type of special for, actually, just put in RC15. Use coupon code RC15, and if you want to get a blog, which if you just click in blog design and set up, put in RC15, that will give you a 15% discount. RC meaning return customer, 15 for 15% discount. Next question is, can you use the database method to change 4 sections to 1 section with 4 sections? Yes, because you could change the path. But honestly, if you're going to start moving around sections like that, I would probably just go in and cut and paste, because you really want to make sure, especially when you're doing one section into 4 subsections, that you do it correctly, because you don't want to have things moving around too much or moving in too deep that Google cannot see your products anymore. And that's the problem when you start going subsection, 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 is it becomes too deep within the site and you're losing a lot of long tail. Kent wants to know, are you going to the Yahoo Merchant Summit? Unfortunately, this year I am missing it. I am heartbroken because I was looking forward to seeing a lot of our customers, but I couldn't do it with the surgery. It was just too much, and I think it's next week, and I still have a hard time walking without my wheelchair, and I've been in a lot of pain from my surgery, so I won't be at Yahoo Merchant Summit. Sorry, but I'll be here, and we'll be educating, and we'll have the Now What project, and 30 webinars one weekend, all free. I love it, and it's a really great weekend, and we get the speakers that you got to pay $5,000 to see at any other event, or I think the tickets are $2,500, but when you include tax and hotel and all of that and your flight, it's like $5,000 to go see some of these speakers. So we get a lot of really great speakers. They're absolutely amazing. One of our speakers last time was helping to put out Guy Kowalski's new book, and he was a part of that and part of like the whole branding for that, and it wound up being like a #1 book before it even came out. And here is this big guy, and he was in New York for this big release, and he took the time out to be with us. So I mean, it's just absolutely, absolutely amazing. I think I covered everybody's questions, and if you're wondering about the blog design, what that is, basically what we do is, this is your website. If you look at the blog, we want it to match. If you notice, the blog matches the site. So this way, what we're looking for is if a customer comes in from our blog, we want to have the site and the store match up, so that way everything works and they can come and see that. For instance, I'll tell you one that did really well. A lot of people shared this. It was a new quilting method that one of our customers actually shared and wrote for us. How beautiful is that? But we've had a lot of people coming in to this page from the search engines, which, great traffic. Well, these great traffic that are coming in to find out about this special type of quilting are obviously going to be our quilting customers. So with a normal blog, you've got this great page, it's doing great in the search engine, it's bringing you great traffic, and it looks like a blog and they don't even know that you sell anything. So, this way it's just really awesome, because if you look, we're selling them without even selling them. We're just giving them great education, and they're commenting on it, they're loving it, they're sharing it, they're talking about it, and now they come to this page and they go, oh, look at that. Oh, I could buy the backing I need to do this quilting method, or I can buy the ruler I need to do this. So that's why you want to have the design of your blog matching up and everything looking beautiful. Kent wants to know, off topic, what do you think of Buy Safe? Okay, great question, by the way. We implemented Buy Safe to try it out, and before we did it, because of the type of customers we have, realize that, well, let's just go in and look at, let's go look at our insights and users. This was the other thing we were able to do. We were able, I don't know if you just happened to notice that, but if you take a look, I'm pretty proud of that too. Just using social media, we were able to get 2,000 fans in just 6 months. It's just been absolutely wonderful, and everybody is real active, and we do Facebook Fans of the Week, and social media is definitely the way to go, guys. All right, so I'm looking at insights and I'm looking at our users. So the main gender, of course, is female, 97%. This is, of course, just the people who's interacting with us on Facebook. And, of course, we could go into Google and get more information. But since we're really marketing through Facebook by not marketing, that would be the way to explain it. I want to know who our users are. So our users are, if you look, the majority of our customers, as a matter of fact, 72% of the people that are connecting with us on Facebook are over the age of 45 years old. So a lot of them are not real tech savvy, okay? And I didn't want to throw this up. Let me get back to it. I didn't want to throw up this Buy Safe and scare the hell out of them. So actually what I did is I did a blog post, and I said, hey, I'm thinking about adding this to our site, and it will give you this, this, this. And what was interesting is about 90% of the people came back and said, we don't need it. We trust you, we like you, all of that good stuff. And then I came back and I said, okay, well, the thing is, though, we pay extra money for Yahoo. We do all this stuff so that we can protect you. But what I really want to make sure is, if there's a sale and you didn't get the sale price, at least with this, you'll be able to redeem some of that money. What it did do, now it did help increase on the conversions, but more than that, what it did is if you have a lot of repeat customers that are constantly looking for your next sale. They just want your next sale. They just want your next sale. They're not doing that anymore. They'll go in and buy feeling confident that if you lower the price within 30 days, that they're going to get the difference. And so you can get that with the Buy Safe. And Buy Safe has two different options. One where you carry the insurance, and the other is where you make the customer pay for it. If you're going to use Buy Safe, don't make the customer pay for it. You pay for that extra insurance. It's not really that expensive comparably when you talk about it, but what it does is it helps with the like, know, and trust. And what happens is whenever a customer places an order, they get a really nice email saying that you cared about them, you cared about their security, you cared about their purchase, that you purchased this insurance on behalf of your customer. And so what that has done is really to build and help to build those relationships with the customers where they like, know, and trust us, and they know that they can keep coming back and purchasing from us. I would highly recommend go to our site, click on the 3-day free trial, free installation, and give it a try, because it may work with your customers. It may not. For this particular instance, it's working really good. However, you know, it may not work on other sites, and nothing is ever one fit works on everything. You know, if you've got people who are much younger and tech savvy and all this other good stuff, you might find a McAfee secure label or a control scan works better for converting more customers than the Buy Safe guarantee. It all depends on your customers. It all depends on your products. It all depends on who you're trying to attract. You know, I spend a lot of time trying to attract these users that are over 45 years old. I talk a lot about my grandkids, and I talk a lot about family, and you know, because that's that part of me. But on Twitter, I can see that the insights of our Twitter is that now I'm reaching the people and the quilters that are between 25 and 45. So when you're talking to that demographic, I talk to them about totally different things. I do include still about my grandkids because, you know, I love them, and that's just me, and I'm being transparent. I'm being who I am and who the only person I know who to be. But I have different conversations with them than I do on Facebook because I'm reaching different targets, even though it's the same product. So look at your target, look at all that information, and go from there. One more question like we have, and we'll call this the last question, and that way I can start working on the upload. And I apologize that this has been an 1.5-hour webinar. I hope you at least learned something today, because I love you all and I want to make sure that you did. And make sure to go to Now What Project, sign up for the 30-day. Make sure to come to our webinar where I go like over the Now What project, which is basically how we started the Yahoo store and what we did and how we started building up traffic and what we did in the social networks. I'm going to go over all of that with you guys. So our last question is, when you have a blog on your store, can your blog directly off your store, or do you have to go to Blogger to blog? You actually go to blogger.com and you just click on New Post. It's very simple, very easy. As a matter of fact, I even did a little thing on here about Quilter step-by-step directions for creating a blog. This was something I did for customers too. You know, this is something that a lot, you know, if you've got customers that like to blog or they don't even know how to blog, and then you show them like a tutorial or send them to a tutorial, it's just really great. So basically you just go to Blogger and you just click on New Blog. It's very easy. You can email them to the blog. You can send, you know, different transcripts or through phones. I personally like to go to the actual Blogger, do it, make it look nice. One of the things that you'll find when you add graphics to your blogs, it just adds a little more oomph to it. Grab your camera and start taking pictures. Start taking pictures, you know, wherever you go, because it doesn't always have to be about business. It can be about just getting to know you or getting to know one of your customers. one of the things that we've done that's really great, and hey, it's an extra blog post, is Facebook Fan of the Week, and just grab one of your customers who, talks with you on Facebook and is great, and you want to get to know them and say, hey, I'd love to interview you, and I'm going to send you a special gift. There's a blog post, and if you do that every Friday, there's 4 of your blog posts out of 30. There's all kinds of things you can do. We're going to work with that. Do giveaways. Giveaways are great for getting people. I mean, within that 6 months, we've got 461 people following the site, over 2,000 on Facebook, and these people come back. These people come back. So I'm going to provide you all kinds of information, but make sure you sign up for it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's a win-win-win-win-win. Okay. Again, if you guys need anything at all, just come to our site, give us a call, whatever you need, and and if you do need, let me put this in here, discount code RC15. If you do need anything done or anything on your site or whatever the case may be, just use discount code RC15 for 15% off, and we'll get that taken care of for you. I'm so glad you guys were here today. Oh, Bonnie wants to know how Blogger is different than WordPress. Bonnie, and by the way, if all of you else want to leave, that's fine, and I'll love you and hugs, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bonnie, the big difference for me between WordPress and Blogger is that if I wanted to create just a regular website that I wanted to have lots of content and lots of, interaction with customers, and this was my main website, I would go with WordPress. But we have the Yahoo store for that. So now we just need an extension of our store to connect with our customers. WordPress has lots of gadgets and all kinds of goodies, and you can add this and you can add that. You can add this and this and this and this and this and this, but you're just putting in more things that are going to take longer to download, okay? You're going to be adding more things that are going to get in the way of what you're trying to accomplish, okay? So Blogger, yes, you can do all kinds of things with Blogger. It's not as strong as WordPress, but the Blogger software, we just want to blog. It's an extension of our store. Okay, we have our store that's run through Yahoo Store, and then we want to have an extension of our store that we just blog. We write articles. We talk to our customers. So we want this to just stand out. We don't want a lot of distractions. We just want to connect with our customers and get that search engine optimization going. The other thing that I really, really, really don't like about WordPress is WordPress is always coming out with the latest security releases. New release. It's like 14.5, 14.55, 14.6. The problem is that if you don't keep up with those constant downloads and updates, you're opening up your blog for hackers to come in. The reason why they do all those updates is they find a vulnerability, and then they fix it and say, okay, download this update. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of Ray Hoffman. She's a very, very popular blogger. She talks at SES, at SMX. She's huge in the search engine optimization world. I think it was 2 years ago. She had a bunch of her blogs that hackers were able to inject all kinds of keywords in, and don't ask me how they do it. Just think of like a turkey and a turkey stuffer and injecting a bunch of hacking stuff into your blog, and it just killed all of her SEO on those blogs. All of it. All her hard work was gone because somebody was able to get in through that vulnerability because she didn't do the updates. In my mind, you guys are store owners. You're not software people. So why bother with constantly having to update? And Julie's right. Updates can screw up your entire site. Blogger, if it has an update, it does it automatically for you. If there's a problem, you never know about it. They just take care of it, and you just do your business. You are in the business of selling your product. You're not in the business of updating blogs or software. you're in the business of selling products. So for me, it's a better choice. Plus, I mean, I get ranking in 2 minutes. I tried that with WordPress. It doesn't work, you know, but yet I press the Blogger button because Google owns Blogger, and bam, I'm in the search engine results. Bam, instantly. This site, I'm now finding about an hour, but our one choice site, this site over here, I can put it in and 5 minutes later. I mean, I will be able to find it. And one time during the Now What project, Mom even challenged me to find it within an hour, and it did. No problem. Hour. There it was. So that's why I like Blogger. So much easier. It's just so much less troubles, less work, less worries, and you can just go to what you want to do. You want to blog, and you want to go back to selling. You know, that's what you're supposed to be doing.